So Arjun, you were talking about if there was a way that you could find out what is the role of woman in society and what is the role of man. And I think a lot of people would say that the Eastern perspective has already cleared that up. The man is the exterior, he goes out and works. The woman is the interior, and she is the household. She takes care of raising the kids and everything to do with traditional wife stuff. And the traditional male role is to get a job and career and everything like that. So it seems like all four people here have done both roles. It seems everything is pretty equal here. What do you have to say about these roles, traditional wife roles and traditional male husband roles?
They're changing. That's the beautiful thing about traditions. We get to make new ones. And I think that's exactly what we're doing. I think that's a very simplistic explanation of roles. I think roles are much more subtle than that. And that people see things differently. People perceive things differently. Guru Kakar has an incredible sensitivity to her environment. The colors, the shapes, the textures of her environment. So, speaking in a most general way, she brings a grace and a beauty. So you could look at it as making the nest beautiful, right? That the home feels welcoming and warm and everything. So while we collaborate and support each other, that's something that comes to her naturally. It's part of her sensibility, of her consciousness, right? I'm the mad scientist in the relationship, so I get to, plug everything in and make it work. So she appreciates the fact that everything works, and I appreciate the fact that everything is beautiful. That's one level of it. Another level of it is, are you willing to compromise on a deep level when you're not feeling well or you're tired and your wife needs a massage or needs a foot rub? If she's tired or stressed out and you need a massage or a foot rub, are people willing to break out of their own self-centeredness of what they think they deserve or what their needs are at that moment to serve the other person? That to me transcends gender. It has to do with being alert to the other person's state. Guru Mastak and Arjun talked about this before. Remember, he talked about coming home and that Arjun Kart had a stressful day with the kids and not having expectations in that moment, but moving into her space of what she was experiencing and then tuning in and experiencing that too in that moment so that he could be sensitive to her in that moment. That's really what the relationships are about. So I think anyone who's stuck in stereotypes of roles, of I'm a man and I deserve this and I should act like this, and I'm a woman and I should act like this, that's pretty much bullshit. That really is of the past. And I think when you live as a conscious person, you wake up and you pay attention. And you pay attention to what's required of you at each moment in the relationship. And that transcends gender.
Yeah, I think in, probably when people think of typical, like an Indian relationship, it's like the woman is supposed to stay in the kitchen. She has these roles. There's definitely strong stereotypes that cultural stereotypes that exist, and those are things that if I feel like my wife needs to do X, Y, Z, she needs to do all these things, and I'm not willing to, and I feel like, and she feels like, oh, it's my duty. I have to do all these things. And it's this pressure. And that she feels that that's not like, I don't feel like a very good relationship to have, because it becomes very lopsided, and both people have needs. And in the old sense, when this was created, there was a single parent, and that was his role. He was he would go out and he would take care and support the family in the worldly sense, and the mother would take care of the family and the home. Those were the roles. But now in this society, it's so different. Both parents, most of the time, are working, and so it's like now with this new environment, we all have to take different roles and we have to shift, because it's not possible for the wife to take care of the whole house, cook, do all this stuff, and take care, in the same way that it was in the past. Well, I know a lot of women do, and they're the things that she does, I am always like, wow, I could never accomplish the kind of stuff that she does in terms of the capacity that she has to keep up with all those million things that she does day in and day out, day in and day out. So there are, I mean, no doubt women have huge capacity to overcome these challenges that men just, sorry, we just don't, we're not built that way.
Does that mean we're the weaker sex?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's why they need to help us, you know. But, you know, those are things that, you know, we have to adjust, because we can't expect, if you want a happy marriage, you can't expect your wife to do all this stuff and take care of you. You have to look at the deeper sense of what is your wife doing. Just because you're working a whole day in the office and you're making all the money doesn't mean that she has to wait on you head and foot like she's your, you know, servant. You know, it's like it's a mutual relationship, and you have different roles, and sometimes you may not even realize all the hard work and stuff that she does that is just as valuable and value. It may not bring money, but it creates the whole unity of your home. It creates the beauty of your home. You know, so many other things that are beneficial to, you know, having a successful relationship.
I mean, probably the first 15 to 20 years of our lives, I did most of the cooking. Then I got sick of it. Then he started cooking. Then we both stopped cooking. Then we realized we're eating out all the time. And then we both started cooking at home together. So, you know, I just think that those roles are something that are constantly changing, but still you can hold the grace of being a woman and the grace of being a man, regardless of how that's manifesting.